Today on the Drop Zone channel, we're going to have our first ever three-way digital watch dive competition. Let's see how water resistant they really are. Hello. You guys asked for more watch content, so today we're going to be destroying some attainable bling to see which has the toughest design. If you guys grew up in the 80s and 90s, as I did, and are nostalgic of the past, you'll probably be cross-shopping between these 80s to 90s style digital retro watches. Because, let's face it, everything from that year was pretty much awesome. That is, until these came along. Let's take a closer look at today's competitors. From Japan, we have the Casio A168, which was first released back in 1991. This is one of the most popular retro watches out there, and before it became a hipster watch, it used to be a 90s dad watch. I remember growing up as a kid and salivating over one, and now I finally get to own it for a few minutes before imploding it. Next up from the USA, we have the Timex T80. Believe it or not, this model actually predates the Casio by almost a decade. It was watches like this that revolutionized the industry with its futuristic technology such as backlight and alarm. Its widespread popularity led to the eventual downfall of mechanical watches, only to rise up 35 years later as a car you can drive into the boardroom. Thanks, Timex. And lastly, from China, we have the Skmei 1123. It's interesting to note that this watch has all the same features as a Casio and the Timex, right down to the stainless steel bracelet and water resistance rating. But this is the only watch in the lineup with a metal case. I weighed all the watches and it does appear to be the heaviest. It's also the cheapest by a huge margin. The MSRP is $20, but you can find it going at some places for $4, and they're still making a profit, which I can't wrap my head around. I'm really curious to see how this one performs under pressure. The dive competition will be held within this one-of-a-kind deep ocean chamber. I don't think we'll need to hit abyssal zone pressures today, but I suspect these watches won't even survive past the sunlight zone at 200 meters. But then again, we've been surprised before. Let's start with this Casio. When we look at the pressure log data, we don't see any visible blip where the watch failed due to the pressure crushing the LCD at 109 meters. There was also no water ingress into the watch until 1,840 meters deep in the midnight zone, which is pretty amazing considering the watch has a water resistance rating of 30 meters. Let's review the video and we'll just zoom right in because it looks pretty psychedelic. You can see the center of the plastic lens, which has the highest point of deflection, begin to press up against the LCD and begin crushing it. If you look closely at the three pushers, it gives us a visual indicator as to the exact moment when the watch springs a leak. Alright, time to load the Timex. The Timex made it all the way down to 242 meters before it sprang a tiny leak, which we also couldn't pick up on the pressure data. So we used the time to correlate it with the depressurization as our reference point. I would say that's pretty impressive for a watch that's rated to 30 meters. We can actually see the leak appear as water begins to fill up behind the plastic lens, and then finally at 365 meters, the watch decides to call it a night. Huh. The window on this watch is actually made from glass, which is more scratch resistant than the plastic used on the Casio and Timex. The glass begins cracking at 110 meters, and the watch imploded at 132 meters. For a cheap alternative, I would say the case build quality on this one is actually better. It's a shame I couldn't say the same about their bracelet, but I guess they had to compromise somewhere. Let's replay the implosion in slow motion. If you're using headphones, I highly recommend switching to speakers right now. Okay, let's tally up the points by calculating the safety factor of each watch. To do this, we'll take the first failure point in meters and divide it by the water resistance rating of 30 meters. So our winner for today goes to the Timex with a safety factor of 8.07. Next, it was close, but the silver goes to China with a safety factor of 3.67. For the price of a latte, this watch really surprised me with its metal glass construction and great water sealing. The only real question mark about this watch is whether the design is 16 years of age or older. If not, it could be disqualified. And finally, the bronze goes to Japan with a safety factor of 3.63. Although this retro classic came third, I was blown away by how deep it went before water got inside. Honestly, if Casio made their windows slightly thicker to resist the deflection, it would have taken gold easily. Thanks for tuning in. I have these 3 brand new golden bracelets to give away if you guys want to switch up the look of your watches. I also throw in this free sticker to whoever types in first dibs down below. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button down there so you guys don't miss out on your chance to win some imploded swag. If you guys are shopping around for G-Shocks, I recommend checking out these 2 videos. The Casio is the version to get. That one has the carbon fibers embedded in the resin case, and it actually makes a difference in terms of stiffness. The implosions speak for themselves. Later, folks.